When designing your culture, it's really important to reinforce your values and reinforce them continually. Here's 3 ways that people do it. 1, you recognize and reward people who actually exhibit those values in person. I have a client who has 6 different values, and every 2 weeks they highlight a value, say responsiveness, and they ask all the peers to vote on who in those last 2 weeks has exhibited responsiveness. And that person gets a trophy, and then they put it in their office and they get a $25 gift certificate. And then the next 2 weeks it might be another value, humility, and the trophy rotates around. Most companies have peers nominate team members of the month or even team members of the year. That's a great way to involve everyone in helping to recognize and reward each other. So the second thing you can do to continually reinforce values is actually embed them in the performance review. I worked with one client that had just shy of 60 employees, and we looked at the values and realized if we extracted the behaviors from them, it actually measured most of the behaviors that we wanted people to measure. So that's one way you can do it. So the third way to reinforce the values is actually use them to guide decision making. And I have 2 clients, both Boomtown and Nick's Pizza and Pub, and they actually, when they're struggling with a decision, they'll walk over and look at the values and say, based on these, what decision would we make? I want to take a moment and tell you about an extraordinary individual and company and how he unconventionally reinforces values. His name is Tom Waters, and he's the CEO of Tasty Catering Company. And in fact, he calls himself the Chief Culture Officer. He has every new hire take a pledge that they vow to live by the values of this company while they're there. He also is a recovering alcoholic, publicly known, I'm not outing him, and in the spirit of AA meetings, they go around and say their principles at the start of the meeting. So if you went to one of his company meetings, you'll find team members state the values before they actually start their meeting. So in summary, to reinforce your values, consider recognizing and rewarding people for living your values. Have them guide decision making, embed them in your performance review. Consider having people take pledges upon onboarding and having people point out when and when you're not in alignment with those values.